Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. I'm going to be doing my spoiler review for Eternals. I'm going to be frank in this video. I did not like this movie. This movie was boring. And when I mean boring, I mean I nodded off or started to nod off 3 times during this movie. I've never done that in a theater. Even with movies that sucked. I have never done that. And I was wide awake for the whole day. But when I saw this movie, I was bored to the point where I started nodding off. It didn't capture my interest. The direction of this movie, the story was so freaking bland. The only exciting moments in this movie were anything that involved the Celestials, because they were interesting enough. I like how they how they are expanding the universe a little bit with characters that are not as known, like with Dane Whitmore or Whitman, who is Black Knight in the comics and in the games that I've played. But as for the Eternals, I can't even remember all their names. I forgot most of their names. I mean, Ajax, Cersei, Ikaris, mostly because they're in Phastos. That kiss, the gay kiss that these crew members that they reported on, and how they were, so brought to tears because of how beautiful it was. That kiss looked like it made both actors uncomfortable. What were they? Or tears? What, tears of joy? I don't think so. It looked more like tears of pain. And Ikaris, why did he kill himself at the end? I don't get it. Why did he kill himself? What was the reason? The post-credit scenes, spectacularly not exciting, except for the fact that Black Knight might be coming in with the Ebony Blade. But the Eternals, it's like, honestly, what was this movie? And yeah, I will go where I'm about to go, because it was pretty shocking when the whole, we must do all this diversity and inclusion and shit, and it seems that they also are part of, let's shit on the white people. Angelina Jolie's character, I can't even remember her damn, Thena, I think it is. She's like, she has this thing called a Mad Weary, where she goes nuts and tries killing people because of all the weight of all of her memories. Ikaris, another white character. He's the one that betrays everyone. Sprite betrays everyone as well. She was also a white character. But the deaf character, who was also a POC, Brian Tyree Henry's character, everyone else, they didn't have much flaws. It was only the white main characters that had any serious flaws or villainy. And that's, did anybody else notice this? And yeah, it is a part of the identity politics problem, folks. This movie was spectacularly boring and basically saying white people are corruptible, white people are a problem because they have all the power, and their power can be dangerous. Well, if you look at the power that you gave the other Eternals, their powers can also be used to be dangerous. Now, when I saw Aramesh, or whatever his name was, the big Eternal or Celestial, appear before the Earth, where you see the clouds parting and he is just in space outside of Earth's atmosphere, that was freaking cool. Don't get me wrong, that part was freaking cool. Seeing the Eternal rise out of the Earth, getting ready to destroy the Earth in his emergence, so to speak, as they call it, that was pretty cool too. But other than that, the Deviants, this one that could steal powers and evolve, I'm like, you made this character out to be extremely powerful, and then in like half a second of when he's about to absorb Angelina Jolie's powers, she just snaps out of her Mad Weary and just slices him up into pieces. And that's it. There's no real epic ending to him. He's just sliced into pieces. Who was the main villain in this? Was it that Deviant? Or was it Icarus? Because Icarus, he freaking betrays them all. It's like, what the hell is going on here? This movie is just so boring, folks. I can't stress that enough. Objectively, I would say this movie is about a 6. It is that bad. It is well deserved to have a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes. But for the fact of the matter that this movie bored me so much that I was nodding off, and immediately woke myself up as I was nodding off, it's like, this has never happened. The story, a 2.5 hour movie, I mean, unless it's Avengers, which was 3 hours, that kept me engaged at least. I mean, it had a couple of boring spots here and there, but it didn't make me nod off. It was ridiculous, folks. And I cannot stress that enough. I was falling asleep because of how insanely powerful these characters are. And the reason why they couldn't help against Thanos or anything like that was because Deviants weren't involved. That they were tasked only to fatten the earth up for sacrifice. Are you fucking kidding me? But yeah, this movie, I cannot honestly give a good recommendation for it. Objectively, this story was bland. The writing was terrible. The acting was good. The actors managed to do their jobs very effectively. Most of them. But for the most part, the score is forgettable. The characters' names are forgettable. The characters themselves are forgettable. But when you are also taking shots subtly, basically having just the white people be either villain or flawed, where the others are not, what message is that sending? It's really disturbing. And yeah, as a white person, I am kind of offended. Because Hollywood seems to think that white people should not have any good roles anymore. Objectively, like I said, this movie is about a 6 because the story was bland, it was boring, it took forever to basically get to any sort of serious, exciting moments, and they were few and far between. And then, subjectively, on the subjective level, I would put this movie around a 4 out of 10. It's that bad. It bored me. I don't like going to the movies and feeling bored. That's not right. Marvel needs to get their act together. And I'm not giving it a 4 because of the identity politics. Yeah, the identity politics are annoying, but that would only take like 2 points off. The boredom factor is what really hurts the subjective score here, as well as the moviegoer score. This movie gets a moviegoer score. Will people like it? My honest moviegoer score is about a 6 out of 10. But for the generic moviegoer, oh, they'll probably like it. So that would be more around an 8 for them. But for the most part, this movie was not good. Eternals was basically their way of saying, diversity, 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 white person bad, oh look, spectacular visuals. And that's it. That's it. Eternals sucked. Hate to break it to you, hate to hurt your feelings, but Eternals sucked. You had to play the political game. You had to play the identity political game. People are sick of that. I know I am. I'm sick of it. And honestly, if this is the route that Marvel is going, to hell with them. To hell with them. Anyway, folks, that is going to be the video. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of this movie, The Eternals? Yeah, I know that a friend of mine is going to be like, oh, stop being such a drama queen. Well, you know what? I'm not being a drama queen. I'm literally calling this movie out for what it did. Anyway, let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble.